Hello everyone and welcome to Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. In the news, the Hopkins County Sheriff's Office will be hosting a luncheon on March 19th from noon until 1:30 p.m. at the Hopkins County Regional Civic Center to talk about the new grant program made with Workforce Solutions to assist with salaries when hiring former inmates. Angela Price, the Hopkins County Sheriff's Office Administrative Secretary, said, "We hope our community businesses will consider this as a new opportunity that will not only benefit them and their company, but their new employee and the community." The reintegration program at the Hopkins County Sheriff's Office is designed to offer more tools to better equip individuals to successfully transition from the Hopkins County Jail into the community. The Reintegration Grant Program is designed to help individuals transition to the workforce after being released from the Hopkins County Jail. The Hopkins County Sheriff's Office staff encourages business representatives who are interested in learning more about the Reintegration Grant Program and how hiring an ex-offender through Workforce Solutions Northeast Texas could potentially benefit their organization to attend that noon business luncheon again on March 19th at the Civic Center. If you need additional information, contact Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy Tanner Crump at 903-438-4040. Framing began Thursday on the new county building being constructed at the corner of Rosemont and Houston Streets. Construction is projected to take 2 to 3 weeks to complete. The Hopkins County Commissioners Court in the fall of last year considered the cost to renovate an old building at the corner of Rosemont and Houston Streets versus the cost to tear it down and put a new building on the site. In mid-November, the Commissioners Court accepted Mark Baird's bid of $73,300 to construct the new building on the pad site of the former structure. The county removed everything out of the deteriorating building on the site by Thanksgiving, and the building was raised in December with bundles of salvaged lumber, metal, and materials offloaded to be used elsewhere throughout the county. Again, the framing began Thursday and is expected to take 2 to 3 weeks to complete, which should see it finished by the end of the month, weather permitting, according to Mark Baird. The building, once completed, will be used primarily by Hopkins County Sheriff's Office by inmates skilled in mechanics or who are interested in learning certain shop skills and to work on county vehicles and equipment. And commissioners will also be able to drive or send over county apparatus to be worked on in the facility, officials said when approving the project. 10 Sulphur Springs High School string students competed in and earned high marks at solo and ensemble competition, one ranking high enough to qualify to compete at the state level. 8 students earned first division or superior ratings for their performances. That's the highest a musician can receive. Senior violinist Natalia Allen earned a first division rating with a Class 1 solo performance of Mozart in G minor. Also earning first division ratings at the solo and ensemble contest were freshman Juliet Olivo, sophomore Saul Morales Yanez, juniors Gavin Patrick and Aaliyah Vallis on violin, senior Ethan Rowell on viola, and junior Abel Chaveria and senior Giselle Garcia on cello. Many of these students reported they've been working on their music for the biggest part of this school year. Freshman cellist Ricardo Chavaria and violist Jonathan Glower received second division or excellent ratings for their performances.
March is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and we meet Ch.18 Mfebe, who is a nurse practitioner with Christus Mother Frances Hospital in Sulphur Springs.
Hi, everyone. I am Ch.18 Mfebe. I am a family nurse practitioner, but I am serving right now at Christus in the GI clinic with Dr. Mina Malad.
Okay. And so, and talking about your specialty and the training and all that you underwent, the selection of where you wanted to go in the medical field, there's a lot of good reasons and good for us that you landed here in Sulphur Springs.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
You have really selected more than one specialty in your studies.
Yes. Definitely I have, but I really have a passion for GI, so I am trained to see babies through elderly patients, and I can pretty much, serve in any capacity as far as medicine in any specialty, but I've been very fortunate to be able to serve in the GI clinic here in the Sulphur Springs area. Yes.
You are a family nurse practitioner, and we've had several in different offices to come here and talk with us in the mornings. And so family nurse practitioner, once you have completed your training and certification, then you, as you said, could work in most any type of office.
That's right.
But you can select your specialties.
Yes, definitely.
What brought you to have this passion for gastroenterology?
Well, in my past job, I worked really closely in our GI clinic there, so I'm very familiar with GI and just have a love for it. It's something that everyone, I believe, can relate to, and it sometimes can be an uncomfortable topic, but it's a topic that needs to be discussed, and I feel like, you need to be in a very safe, comfortable environment when you come to your, doctor to be able to express yourself, and GI can be an uncomfortable topic, but I felt that, it's something that affects each and every person.
Every one of us.
And so, hey, who better than talk about it than me?
We all have a digestive tract.
Yes, we do.
If we could see it better, we might take better care of it.
That's right. If our bowels could talk.
That's right. So from helping with, let's say, issues that arise, and every one of us may have something that we could say, well, I don't do well when I eat this, or when I, don't take care of myself or get proper rest or whatever, to other disorders that may have already developed. And as you said, our liver is very, what was that word you used?
It's very important. It's a resilient organ. Yeah, it takes a beating, but keeps on licking. But you got to, pamper it and take care of it like a little baby, and it's going to take care of you. I mean, your liver is a filtration organ. I mean, you need it definitely to function at its best, and it's all about how we take care of it. In our practice, we see a lot of patients with fatty liver, a lot of patients with hepatitis C, and I just want to encourage everyone that definitely exercise, eating a well-balanced diet, a low-fat diet will help to solve the issue with the fatty liver, because over time, if that fat continues to progress in the liver, it does start to affect our liver function, and also may eventually turn into a cirrhotic or ulcerated liver, and then potentially turn into liver cancer, and that's something we don't want. And then for our hepatitis C has been around for a long time, especially with the baby boomer generation that maybe didn't get as much screening with blood transfusions and things like that. But we have treatment now that's curing hepatitis C at 100%. And the treatments that we have now are phenomenally better than what we had in the past. They're just basic pills that you take every day for a certain amount of time, usually between 8 or 12 weeks, dependent on the patient and what's happening with them. But we're getting people cured every day. I see people in my practice every day that come in and we're able to eradicate their hep C.
Do you have patients that come in for, let's say, some other reason, and find out they have hepatitis C?
Usually we get referrals from their primary care doctor.
Okay.
They've seen their primary care doctor maybe for an annual visit or, wellness exam. They had other issues going on, and the doctor says, well, let me check this hep C. And they check it, and they're antibody positive, meaning that they've had hep C somewhere along the way, and that's how they get placed in our office.
And so you also mentioned Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, which we are in.
Yes, the month of March. Yes, it's Colorectal Awareness Month. So this is the month that we really push colon cancer screening. So definitely, if you are someone between, greater than 45 is the recommendation by the American Cancer Society that anyone greater than 45 years of age should be screened for colorectal cancer. Even some patients require screening earlier, depending on, genetics, hereditary-wise. Maybe your family has a strong history of colon polyps or even colorectal cancer. You'll need to be screened much sooner. But definitely, colonoscopies are still number one in detection of cancer and also in removing precancerous polyps in the body.
So when you say colorectal screening, does that mean colonoscopy?
Colonoscopy, but there are other screening tests that you can do, such as the FIT or the fecal occult test, which many primary care physicians, family physicians do offer as part of a wellness check and things like that. And those are able to detect blood in the stool. But with those, you have to have at least maybe 2 positive readings of blood found in the stool or 3 positive readings of blood found in the stool before they usually refer to us to check on the patient. But I would say that, once again, I stress this, that colonoscopy is still the very best because it's both screening and procedural, meaning that it looks to see if there's anything wrong, and if there is something wrong, we go ahead and treat you right then and there, remove the polyps, make sure and check that it is benign, but it could be potentially precancerous polyp, which then that means that your screening needs to be a little bit more routine. So definitely get your screenings done.
How often? Is there an average frequency?
So if you don't have a polyp, it's every 10 years.
Okay.
But if we do find at least 2 polyps or more, it's usually every 3 years.
Okay.
Every 5 years. If we find 3 polyps or more, it's every 5. Let me slow down and say that again. If we find 2 or less polyps, it's every 5 years. If we find 3 or more polyps, it's every 3 years. And then also depending on what type of polyp you have. Some people they build more of the cancer-producing polyps, so then they need to be followed a little closer. So you would probably fall in that 3-year category.
So your colonoscopy and just having a doctor such as your primary care doctor, you come in with some complaint about your digestive system, and am I right in saying digestive system?
Yes.
Okay. So then they may refer that patient to your office, which is Dr. Mina Milad's office.
Yes.
Where you are a nurse practitioner.
Yes, definitely. We are in office Monday through Friday. We see patients, though, on Thursdays in Winsboro, but primarily we see patients in Sulphur Springs there at the clinic. So definitely you will see either one of us. I usually have a better access to be seen because I'm there more. Dr. Milad is there on Mondays, full clinic days for him, and then the rest of the days he is doing procedures and scopes, and then he's in clinic also on Thursdays, half a day in Winsboro. So more likely you'll come and meet me first, and then if you need to have a procedure done, then I forward you over to our great doctor, Dr. Milad.
Okay. There's so many things I would like to ask you, but really we agreed to kind of talk about 3, March being Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, and just to get people's awareness raised a little bit, and
yes,
and put some focus on all this that's going on daily inside our digestive system that we take it so for granted.
We do.
What we eat and drink and how it functions.
Yes. But what we eat and drink has to come out. And what we eat and drink affects our digestive system, affects our colon, because the colon is what expels everything that we eat out of our body. So we definitely have to make sure that internally it's functioning the best and doing the best for us.
And liver and other
liver, yes. Liver, yes, definitely. Your liver as well.
Well, and I wanted to bring to the folks here listening how you came to Sulphur Springs. So tell us where you originally come from.
So I am from the Dallas area originally, but I live in Fate, and most people don't know where that small town is, but I lie between Rockwall and Royce City is Fate. So I have a good 45 to 50-minute drive here to Sulphur Springs, but I love it because there's no traffic. Okay. Versus when I was in Dallas, it was, oh my goodness, it took me an hour and a half to get to work. But I found Christus through a job fair, and I talked to one of the recruiters there at the job fair, and then God, by His divine intervention, just made all things align, and here I am, and I'm so happy to be here. Sulphur Springs is a beautiful place, and the people have been so kind that I've met so far.
Well, do you think that working, let's say, out here in the provinces, Sulphur Springs, Winsboro, and Mount Pleasant, did you mention Mount Pleasant? That it's a different pace of life?
It is. It really is a different pace, especially from the big city where I was. It is a different pace. Yes, absolutely. But I love it.
Tell us about your training to get into the medical field.
Yes, so I have been a nurse now for 11 years, and I was trained in Chamberlain University College of Nursing for my master's degree, and that's how I became a family nurse practitioner. So they're based out of Illinois, but it is an online program.
Okay, and then you have studied more than one specialty.
Yes, you're as a family nurse practitioner, you're trained to see, like I said, babies all the way to elderly patients, and be versed with all disease processes.
Well, I'm glad that you have selected to come here.
Yes.
And also, I believe that Dr. Millard needed help in his office.
Yes, Dr. Millard has a very booming GI practice. Yes, he is very much on demand, and there is such a need here in the Sulphur Spring and Winsboro, Quitman, all this area for GI. And so instead of going all the way to Tyler, we're here to take care of your GI needs here locally.
And this is something that could develop as we age, which is inevitable.
Yes,
that we're going to age.
Definitely. Our digestive tract slows down just like a lot of things in our body starts to slow down due to wear and tear. So definitely being versed at what's happening and being in tune with how you can prevent certain things from happening in your digestive tract is very important. Yeah. Eating a very fiber-rich diet is definitely of high importance. Drinking lots of water, especially water, fluid, is of high importance. Avoiding the red meats that we eat a lot in our diet is of very extreme importance, especially because it's very hard for the colon to break down and get through the red meat. So I know that's hard on some of us out here with our cows and farms and stuff. You don't want to hear that, but limiting it is everything in moderation. Basically, is going to be beneficial to you in the long run.
I know that Christus Mother Frances Hospital has welcomed you here in your new capacity with Dr. Mina Millad's office. And the residents here in Sulphur Springs, Hopkins County are also going to embrace you. You have so much joy that shows on your face that you love what you do.
Oh, I do. Yes, and I always believe that educating our patients is paramount, because the more you know about how to take care of you and the more understanding you have about what's going on in your body, then when you leave my door, that education that I gave you is going to stay with you, even as you make choices when you go home. You know, oh, she said that and she said that, and then you'll remember it because you know it'll benefit you.
Well, I want to call your name again, Ch.18. Amphibe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
And you can find me at the Christus Hospital here in Sulphur Springs in our GI practice and our GI clinic. Our number is 903-885-1770 if you need to make an appointment to see us. We'll be glad to serve you.
Thank you very much for coming in today.
In sports, the early season success of the Wildcats baseball team is being fueled by solid pitching performances. Case in point, Thursday on the first day of the 2020 Raider Classic at Wiley East High School, the Wildcats got a 0-0 tie with Frisco Liberty and then edged past Dallas Lake Highlands by the score 3-2. In that Wildcats first game Thursday with Frisco Liberty, both pitchers dominated. The Wildcats managed only 3 hits and Frisco Liberty had only 2. The Wildcats made the game's only error. Wildcat Jackson Cheney, a Ouachita Baptist commit, only required 79 pitches to go 7 innings, allowing 2 hits and no runs with 4 strikeouts and 2 walks. And Cheney, Will Sims, and Colson Hale all got a hit for the Wildcats. After 7 scoreless innings, the game was declared a tie to keep the tournament schedule on time. In their second game of the day, the Wildcats used 1 good inning to squeeze by Lake Highlands. Lake Highlands scored first in the top of the second inning to take a 1-0 lead. The Wildcats scored 3 runs in the bottom of the third to go up 3-1. Lake Highlands got a single run in the top of the fifth, but the Wildcats shut them down the rest of the way for a 3-2 win. Will Sims needed only 91 pitches to go 7 innings and get the complete game win. Sims allowed only 5 hits and 1 earned run with 2 strikeouts and no walks. The Wildcats won despite being out-hit 5-3. In that big Wildcat third inning, Colson Hale had the big hit, a double that drove home 2 runs. Davis and Blake Weiss also had hits for the Wildcats. Third inning runs were scored by Davis, Matthew Singleton, and Brendan Lynn. The Wildcats season record is now 5-2-1, and the Wildcats will be playing North Forney on Friday. Lady Cats softball team is beginning to feel more comfortable at the plate. Thursday, on the first day of the 3-day Wiley tournament, the Lady Cats softball team got 22 hits while splitting a pair of games. The Lady Cats slugged their way past McKinney Boyd 13-4 and then lost a slugfest to Allen 10-7. Against Boyd, the Lady Cats trailed after the first inning 2-1. Lady Cats scored 4 runs in the bottom of the third to take a 5-3 lead. With 6 runs in the bottom of the fourth, the Lady Cats stretched their lead out to 11-4. They added 2 more runs in the fifth to win the ballgame 13-4. Lady Cats out-hit the Lady Broncos 12-4. Senior Kate Womack led the offensive fireworks with 3 hits, 3 runs scored, 3 RBIs, and a triple. Grace Magnuson had 3 hits, a run scored, and 3 RBIs with a double. Senior Colbria Harrison had 2 hits, 3 runs scored, and 3 RBIs with a triple. Heather Bowen had a hit, a run scored, and a walk. Paris Pickett had a hit, a run scored, an RBI, and a walk. Nyla Lindley had a hit and 2 RBIs. Salin Adair had a hit, 2 runs scored, a walk, and a double. Aaliyah Abram and Jaden Harper both scored a run. Braylee Brewer got a walk. Abram, Adair, and Harper stole bases. And Addison Cadell got the pitching win, working 5 innings, allowing 4 hits, 4 runs, with 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. And the Lady Cats did not make an error. The win was number 300 for veteran softball coach David Carrillo at Sulphur Springs. Coach Carrillo is in his 14th year here. Against Allen, the Lady Cats fell behind early and just could not catch up. Allen was up 4-1 after 1 inning and 9-2 after 3 innings. After scoring 2 runs in the top of the fifth, the Lady Cats cut the deficit to 9-5. 2 more runs in the top of the 6th made the score 10-7. Allen ahead, and that's the way that it ended. The Lady Cats actually out-hit Allen 11-10. Both teams had a tough time playing defense, with the Lady Cats making 6 errors and Allen 5. Jaden Harper was 3 for 3 with a run scored, an RBI, and a stolen base. Heather Bowen was 2 for 4 with an RBI and a double. Addison DeSmet was 1 for 1 with an RBI. Paris Pickett was 1 for 2 with a run scored. Grace Magnuson was 1 for 2. Aaliyah Abram was 1 for 2 with a run scored. Maddie Smith was 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs and a triple and a walk. Nyla Lindley was 1 for 4 with a run scored. Salen Adair was 1 for 4 with an RBI and a double. Colbria Harrison got an RBI and walked twice. Braylee Brewer scored a run. And Denver Wyatt got the pitching loss, pitching the entire 5 2/3 innings of the game, allowing 10 hits but just 2 earned runs with 3 strikeouts and 6 walks. Both games were played on Thursday at Wiley High School. The Lady Cats season record is now 5-7. Friday, the Lady Cats played Burleson Centennial and Mesquite Horn. 2 Lady Cats power lifters, Addie Lamb and Sable Erdmeyer, competed at the regional meet Thursday at Pine Tree. Erdmeyer qualified for the state meet March 21st in Waco. More on the Lady Cats powerlifting from Sulphur Springs powerlifting coach Casey Jeter, and we'll also hear from 3 powerlifters going to state.
Regional meet last night in Pine Tree. It was a great meet, very good meet. We took 2 girls, had 2 girls qualify, Addison Lamb and Sable Erdemeyer. Addison lifted in the 132-pound weight class. She started off in 6th place and fought her way to a tie of 4th place. Now, she was a pound heavier than the other girl, so she ended up with 5th, but we're very proud of her. She came in and she competed like she never has. She's a sophomore. She came in and squatted, PR'd with a squat of 270 pounds, which is highly impressive for someone that weighs 126. She bench pressed 95 pounds, and on her 3rd deadlift to jump 2 people, she had to go and deadlift 255 pounds, which was quite impressive. So she came out and had a great meet, and we're very, very proud of her. Totally different beast than she was last year, and it's amazing. Sable Erdemeyer came in the 165s. She came in 2nd place, and we finished in 2nd place. The girls' extreme competition, we got 3 girls in the 165s going to state, and it's typically only 2. Now, the Lindell girl that got 1st place, Savannah, she was a good lifter, very good lifter. But Sable came in, she PR'd on squat with a 240-pound squat. We attempted the regional record at 270, almost got it up, or 370, excuse me. So she got 340, and we went for the regional record of 370, thought we could get it. And we made a fight of it, and just it wasn't in the cards for that day. Bench press, we got 135 pounds, went for 145, barely missed. And on deadlift, she pulled her opener. She got the state qualifying total, and she walked in, pulled 350 pounds like it was nothing, and here we go, going to the state meet in Waco. Very excited.
Very good. So 3 ahead in 2 different state meets, 3 people.
Yes, sir. 3 lifters. So we have our first girl lifter, Sable Erdemeyer from Sulphur Springs, to go to state. Her state meet will be on Saturday the 21st in Waco. We'll have early weigh-ins on Friday. And then the boys, George Greenway in the 198s and Jesse Krillo in the 148s, will have their meet in Abilene the next weekend on the 28th.
Well, big time for you. A couple of big meets coming up.
Yes, sir. Quite excited. So they've worked hard and they've deserved it. So.
All right. A chance to talk to them.
Yes, sir. I have them here. Who would you like to start with? Well, let's go with the girls.
All right.
So we have Sable Erdemeyer. Come on up, Sable.
What do you think about going to state?
I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I was ready yesterday.
How was your meet yesterday? Were you proud of it?
I was very proud after squat because I PR'd.
Yeah.
Deadlift, I was kind of disappointed because I wanted to do the 365 and get it up.
You got more left for state?
Oh, yeah. Tons more.
You want to let that out to the competition? Oh, no, you're ready, right?
Let Savannah know.
All right. Well, how has it been for 2 years now? You've been a lifter, and it's something you just love, right?
Yes, sir, I do. Very much.
Any chance that you could continue? Well, I don't know what your plans are. What do you plan to do? I talked to you when you were in the homecoming court, but I forgot what you said.
When I turn 18, actually on the 21st of the state meet, I will be training for, I'll be able to train for dispatch. So for like 911 phone calls or whatever, and then when I turn 21, I'll go to the police academy.
All right. I bet you in your spare time you'll still be lifting.
Yes, sir, I will.
All right. And so, any special plans between now and state, or just stay at it?
Stay at it, 100%.
All right. Very good. Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
All right. Jesse Carrillo.
Yes, sir.
All right. How have you liked powerlifting? You've been in what, several years?
Since my sophomore year, I'm ready to compete for state.
How did your regional meet go? You think?
It went good. I got a 1,200 total, so I qualified for state.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We were also second, weren't you? Second in region?
Yes, sir.
That would have qualified you, I believe,
Yes,
as
sir.
well. So you qualified a couple of different ways.
Yes, sir.
What's your favorite lift?
I like bench. Bench is my favorite. I've always
What are
liked
you
it.
getting at that on the bench right now?
I have 290 right now. I want to hit 300 at state. Yes, sir.
All right. How about the other lifts? Any one's a real challenge for you?
Deadlift. Deadlift's always been like tough for me. I hit 460 the first meet, and then I hit 450 for regionals. Yes, sir.
All right. So good weight. And how's the squat coming along?
Squat's going good. I hit 460 last meet, and I want to get to like 480, maybe 5. I want a PR.
Is the powerlifting's kind of your thing, right?
Yes, sir. I joined in my sophomore year, and then it's just been, I loved it ever since. It's been fun.
You thought of trying to get a ride in college doing that?
I don't know. I've been thinking about going military and
Oh,
just
really?
doing it in the
Okay.
military.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, they got lifters.
Yes, sir. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
They'll make you lift a lot, probably.
Yes, sir.
So it's been are you a senior now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of wrapping it up, and so it's been a nice powerlifting career.
Yes, sir. My brother, he's a junior. He'll be here next year. He'll be definitely going to state next year.
Yeah.
He almost made it.
Almost.
Yes, sir.
And what are your hopes for state? How well do you hope to do?
I just want to hit like personal records on all my lists, and I'm good with that. And I'm ready to compete.
All right. Well, congratulations on a great career in powerlifting, going to state.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Jesse, thank you. You're George Greenway,
Yes, sir.
and you had a nice meet in regional.
Yes, sir. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I didn't hit all the PRs that I wanted to, besides on deadlift, but it was a great meet.
Coach said it had kind of some circumstances on the squat. They really wanted you to touch your butt down on the ground or something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it really stopped me from breaking my personal PR, which is 705. I only got 620 on squat because I had to go extra low. So I know in practice I'm going to work depth. So in state that won't be no problem.
Now that's 705. That's a state record, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Well, state record was actually just broken by Isaiah, which is he's a beast. He got 735 during regionals. He's a strong man.
How did the regional go for you? Were you pleased with it?
I was very pleased. I went in expecting to get third place, and I left getting third place even though squat didn't go my way. So it still went great.
Kind of impressed with our region, third in the region, third in the state for you.
Yes, sir. As of right now, it's third in the state. Hopefully I can take second. I'm a fight for it.
What's your favorite lift?
My favorite lift is squat. Squat, yes, sir.
I really like that.
Yes, sir. It's a great feeling standing up to the weight and everybody yelling because everybody loves squat. There's nothing to it. It's just sitting down with and standing up.
Yeah, when you get down, you got to get back up, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's that or fall.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to do that.
No, sir.
A lot of weight bouncing around.
Yes, sir.
How's your bench and how's your
My
deadlift?
my bench is doing great. I hit 315 with no problem, and I tried to jump up to 330 because I was feeling strong, and I didn't quite get it. I only got it halfway.
Yeah.
And deadlift, I hit a PR. I got 600 up, and my last personal record was I think 575. So I jumped a lot on deadlift.
You left no doubt, 135 pounds over what you needed to lift to get to state.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I definitely succeeded in that part.
What are your hopes for state?
My hopes for state is go in with a positive mindset and leave with a medal. I plan on being a medalist from state and make my team happy and my dad happy.
Yeah. Well, you've had a great career here with it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Been doing it all 4 years, freshman year, and Coach Deere was here helping me up ever since I was young.
Lady Cats track team finished 5th in a very competitive meet at Royce City on Thursday night. We get results from Wildcats track coach Matt Young.
Yeah, extremely competitive meet, 8 teams. Royce City has a couple of guys opportunities to go to state. Triple jumper went 47. Wow. Last night, 800-meter runners broke 2 minutes, which is really good this early in the year. There was a couple of low 10s in the 100. Just top notch. Royce City, Ennis, Garland, Lakeview, Centennial. They ended up winning the meet. A good night for us. We finished 5th overall just because it was a tough meet. Mm-hmm. But our times dropped either half a second, 2 seconds. Marks. Field events weren't as good as they had been, but still competed well. Ryan Hammonds in the shot put ended up taking 2nd through a high 46. And then Radon McCormick got 4th. So really good by both of those guys. That really was our only points field event wise. Nothing in long or triple. Tripled okay, did 39s, kind of a little step back. Those guys will get it back. Weston Fields did a good job competing in high jump. Winning jump ended up being 6'6", which at this time of year is pretty phenomenal. But he did a good job handling the atmosphere. The 2 mile, Jose Mejia ran well for us. I believe he placed 5th. Really good, strong run. Our 4x1 dropped their time. We didn't play. I say that. I take that back. We did. We placed 5th. Dropped their time another 0.4 of a second, which is always the idea. That was Weston Fields run the first leg to Caden Wallace, to Bryson Lacey on the 3rd leg, and then Caden Eaton finished it. So good by those guys to continue to make progress. Nabian Ramirez got 2nd in the 800, ran 159. Last year he ran a 2 flat at district, so he's definitely ahead of his pace. I also saw somebody in our district run 156, so he's got some competition. The 800 at district here in a month will be a great race, but really strong showing by Nabian. In the 4x2, dropped our time. We got 5th in it. Also dropped our time by another 0.2 of a second to 133. Starting off with Ricardo Torres to Nabian Ramirez, to Bryson Lacey to Weston Fields. So really happy how that group's making progress. We joke there's kind of an average in Sulphur Springs. Our average 4x2 times 132. We're at 133, so we're getting there. Same deal in the 4x1. We're kind of a 43 team. Good years we go below 43, and below average years it's 44. So we're getting to those marks that we kind of can be at. Turned around the 400. Ricardo Torres took 2nd in the 400 meter, ran a 51. So he's continuing to drop a second a week, 53, 52, 51. Now, we don't expect that to happen all the way through, but it looks like he'll be ready to break 50 at district, which is exciting. That's not something he's done in his high school career. So really strong there. Our 200-meter times continue to drop. Weston Fields, they had him at a sub-23. The timing at times last night wasn't always on point, but still it was faster than he ran before. Same thing with Bryson Lacey. In the mile, both Jose Mejia and Christian Palomino both placed 5th and 6th. And then our mile relay took I want to say they took a 3rd last night. Really good showing. Ricardo Torres, Nabian Ramirez, Kyle Schnell, and then Christian Palomino. So it's starting to come together. We're getting really close on some events. We're going through a couple of nagging injuries. Got a couple of guys that hopefully are joining us in the next week or so. So kind of excited where we're going. We'll run Mount Pleasant next week at spring break and get closer to district.
Yeah, something new. Again, the fine tradition of sports during spring break, track joins in the track meet. Oh, yeah, kids showing commitment. We got a lot of kids, you start asking, hey, you're going to be around, and, you look out of 40 guys, you got 30 to 35. Well, yeah, let's go take you to a meet. It's like a workout, but a little more glorified, a little more fun than just coming out here and running them in the ground. So we're excited about it and get to go to Mount Pleasant, not a real far trip, and friends and family will be able to come over if they can. The Lady Cats track team finished 2nd at that Royce City meet Thursday night. Results from Lady Cats track coach Ross Hicks.
It went well. We finished 2nd in a group of 8 teams, all 4A to 6A teams. Very competitive field with 2 district opponents with Royce City and Greenville, and we finished in 2nd place. I was very proud of our effort and our the way that we competed all night. And we also due to the 4x1 not being, we didn't have everyone there, so we didn't run a 4x1 even, and those points are worth double, and we're still able to finish in second place. So I was very proud of our overall, just the way we were able to, each person fighting for those points to be in the top 6. So so leading off, we didn't run that 4x1, which it hurts. We'll get it though, and we're really working that timing in practice. But we really need everybody there to really hit our marks and get our handoffs right. But we had a good night. Though definitely a bright spot was our 100-meter dash. We finished first and third. Breasia Ivory finished first in time of 12:4, which is a solid time for this beginning of the year. And then Messiah Dugan for 12:6, and then we had someone in 8th as well. And so that's why. Hurts us not to be in that 4x1 because we know we can compete. We know we'll be able to compete once we get them out there. And then in the 800-meter dash, freshman Lainey Hurst, 2:33, which is a great time for her, closing in on the school record. She gives it such a hard effort. She ran the mile later on, and she ran a PR in the mile, but she just exhausts herself in that 800, and you can tell it all over her face. And so, but I was very proud of what she did in the 800 last night. And then in the mile, both, like I said, Sydney Washburn finished in 4th, and then Lainey finished in 5th. They were right together the whole time, pushing each other, getting us points in that event as well. Like I talked about, in the 3,200 meters, Sydney Washburn again finished 4th to get us a couple of points there. In the 300 hurdles, Nala Lindley, she competed in her first meet and showed up after playing a little bit of softball, and so she came and had a great race and finished in 5th place in that event for us with a time of 53:06. So I was very, very proud of that, and I think she's going to really help out our team. And then in the 4x2, we finished. It was Aaliyah Abram, Messiah Dugan, Breasia Ivory, and Justice Jones. They finished in 4th place with a 151. Again, we had a little bit of handoff mishap on that 4x2, and I think we would have, that just got us, and I mean the other 3 teams were right there. So we were right in the mix, just cleaning up a couple of things, but I was proud of the way that they competed. In the 4x4, we had Aaliyah Abram, Delaney Miles, Sierra Viscovo. They competed, and they finished in 3rd place with a medal in time of 4:53. So again, it was getting a little chilly at that time. It was getting a little later, pushing in on 10 o'clock. So they were getting tired, but they got out there and competed, and I was very, very proud of that. In the field events, again, Messiah Dugan finished in 2nd, and Breasia Ivory in 5th. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. Bree was in 2nd, and Messiah was in 5th in the long jump. So they got us some more points there. In the disc, Jaden Holly finished 4th, getting us some points there. Brooklyn Burnside was in 6th in the triple jump. This is her first time to ever do triple jump. She started doing it literally earlier this week, so we're very pleased, to be able to pick something up like that. Because and then Delaney Miles finished 3rd in the high jump with a new PR of 5 foot. And then Claire Bybee fighting through a little bit of illness, but she was not her best height, but she still won the meet in a height of 10 foot after, but a little illness, and but she'll be back ready to go next week. So overall, it was a good night. I was very pleased. Got to see some new competition and some faces that we'll see at district. So overall for the Lady Cats, it was a successful night.
And the fine tradition of sports around here, there's a meet during spring break.
There is. Week. This is, yeah. And in my 4 years, we are having a meet over spring break just to keep the kids going, to keep them energized, and so we will be competing in Mount Pleasant next week, and we may be a little bit of a limited team because we're not going to tell them not to go on their family vacation or something like that they have planned. So we may be a little bit limited in that, but the ones who are there, we're going to go compete and get better.
The Lady Cats and the Wildcats will be at a Mount Pleasant meet next Thursday during spring break. And that's Channel 18 News. I'm Don Julian. Thank you for watching, and so long, everybody.